So everybody loves superhero. Starting as children, we like the idea of having someone that we can look up to, and kind of this person that's been through some life struggle or situation that's happened and they're able to work through it. As we get older into that adolescent and teenager stage, we still like the idea, even though we know that they're not real. It's still someone or a group of people that we can really talk about and geek out about. I'm definitely one of those people, and I know a bunch of other people are as well. And then even as adults, while, again, we still know that they're not real, we still like the idea. It basically has a twofold. We like to watch it with our kids, that being both superheroes and animation, that are like, oh yeah, you get to share this joy with your kid. And then also, you're able to relive, basically, your past memories of being like, oh yeah, I remember getting up and watching Saturday cartoons and that kind of thing. So it serves both of those purposes in that aspect. So specifically with superheroes, I'm going to be talking about Marvel Studios, or Marvel Comics, as it's also well known. So kind of just like a brief history of Marvel. Marvel was actually started, Marvel Comics, was started in 1939 by Martin Goodman, and it was actually originally published as Timely Comics. And it wasn't initially the idea of superheroes. They were kind of like mythological creatures and adventure stories and things like that. And then in the 50s, Goodman actually owned a distribution company, so he changed the name from Timely Comics to Atlas Magazines. This went on for about a decade or so, and then in the 60s, he changed the name from Atlas Magazines to what we now know as Marvel Comics. And so that's where the superheroes started to come in, and Stan Lee started to create characters like Iron Man, Black Widow, Thor, Spider-Man, all those lovable characters and Avengers that we know today. So that went on for quite some time. And even in the 90s, they filed bankruptcy. They had to, unfortunately, sell off most of their characters. It was kind of dull for a little bit. So we were very curious about the history of Marvel and where it was going to go from there. Then, about in 2008, they decided to come up with an idea and produce a movie based off of one of the characters they still owned, Iron Man. And that was a smash hit. Everybody loved it, and so they started to come up with ideas, and they wanted to make more movies about these characters and Avengers and people that they owned. After its success, they started getting more money. They were able to buy characters back, and then, as we all know, where they're at today, they have produced 20 movies, and they're still making more movies to come. So, with their grand success, their movies, they grossed over $17 billion worldwide. That's just crazy to think about, that a franchise could make that much money. Its top 5 movies, Avengers Infinity War made $2 billion, the first Avengers movie made 1.5, the second one made 1.4, Black Panther made 1.3, and Iron Man 3 made 1.2. So you're like, oh, what is all those numbers? It's crazy that those 5 movies gross about $8 to $10 billion. That's insane, because it means all those other 15 made up that other 7 to 10 billion, which is absolutely insane. But aside from money, obviously, it's how does these characters impact us? So, aside, obviously, from the success of that, you have children who are growing up, and heck, even adults who are excited to go see these movies with their kids and stuff like that, because they influence us. Again, like I had mentioned, it's that looking to a superhero as a child and be like, oh my gosh, that's absolutely incredible. I want to be Iron Man. They'll dress up for Halloween, that kind of thing, or Miss Marvel, anything like that. So they're inspired by these characters and people that they want to be. They're instilling these good virtues in people. And as adults, you're just like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. I'm seeing characters back when I was a kid or a teenager, when the first Iron Man comic came out, or first Captain Marvel, that kind of thing. You're like, wow, this is a character that I grew up with, that I knew about, and they're putting them on live action. You're like, I never thought that would happen, or wow, that's happening. And that's just a cool thing that they're able to relive that past and good childhood experiences that they had. Obviously, as we know, Marvel is having no plans on stopping. They're going to continue making movies, and even if they were to stop, they're still making comics and things that both children and adults can enjoy in the 21st century, and they help give us these morals and stuff that we can follow to be these good individuals who want to help others. Thank you very much for your time.